I
Like
agree
you,
with
for
Liz.
example, sorry, Paul.
If we can do the different categories, and then the underneath the category, the information there would then be like your description in
Yes.
sentences.
Yes. I think that must be step one. And once we've done that, Gail, you are, what did I call you? What? Excelliatrix. Yeah. You can easily play around and do a table for us that does averages. And then all we need to, Lana, we just need to merge Gail's tool basically with your data. Because Gail can put gobbledygook in as options, and then it can just merge the two. That's easy. Yolanda, if you can work on the protocols for us, please. Have a look at the rubrics that Duan used. For example, on 2.1, go and look at how the rubric is put out. It needs to be something like that. It needs to be a heading, like Paul said, on one side, and then there needs to be a description, okay, for what it should be. And then, Gail, could you help and work on a little Excel table that we can just copy paste with everything in?
Can
Cool.
do.
How are we doing for time?
Well, Paul is
it's
paid for
unlimited now.
minutes.
But I already send in the next session to your emails if we're going to be cut off.
My idea, and this is maybe the confusion at the bottom of that posting that I made yesterday, the story about Bessie. Guys, it was just, I was waiting for Elaine to vote, and she drove so flippin' slow from her school home. You can see I had lots of time. And I started this because Paul wanted to go and sleep, and we were waiting for the voting to finish. And then I spoke to him offline. I said, Paul, this is what I need from you. Give me yours. And when I saw that Paul's is this, very similar to mine, I just started to write this little story, just trying to paint a picture. And then I was waiting to find out which wicked problem it was going to be, to try and then adapt the story, to change it. But I never had the time to do that. So he said, so what's the idea? And I said, well, the idea was, when we put the, the artifact of submission, in the beginning, we're going to have to introduce our wicked problem and the setting. And I think, Gail, you said this to me in WhatsApp, our chat yesterday, when the assessor, when they evaluate it, they'll be able to understand the whole concept, or they need to get their brain around where it's going. And Duan was very happy with that, or he understood that, okay, that we want to do something. And I said, it's about a one-page write-up just to get the people a bit excited, give them more detail. I was talking to Gail specifically. I said, oh, you asked me the question, actually, I think, why the rural or why this? And I said, because it's a challenge and it's more realistic with South Africa we're in today. If we look at the demographics of our cohort, okay, and also the intention of the research, that whatever they're doing with this, what is the Vice Chancellor? He's the baby of this fourth industrial revolution. We've got to think, I would like what we do to be taken up into that research they're taking further one day, that it actually makes a difference. So it needs to be a challenging setting. It doesn't help if it's an easy one. And I don't want to have to be able to defend things or, be in the wrong side of anybody. So obviously, Gail and Elaine, we're waiting for your responses. I've got Yolanda's and Celeste's and Paul's and my own. But we've all got the rural one in common. So
I don't really care about the context. My biggest concern is that part of the definition of a wicked problem is that it's in context. And I'm scared that if you remove the context too far, the problem is no longer wicked. So it's more like I have like a philosophical problem with it, not a academic problem with it.
Okay, can I jump in? From my side, I feel like if we only focus on the rural, when you move it away from the CPD, then the whole wicked problem changes and the focus is on the rural areas. What if we go and look at the bigger picture to say, okay, we're 6 people from very different backgrounds. We say CPD is a wicked problem, but not only in Laerskool Helderkruin. You say we're overachievers, so let's blow this assignment up and say, this is our wicked problem. But in Laerskool Helderkruin, although Laerskool Helderkruin, we're a rich school, so we have all the finances, there's still a problem with CPD. In Randfontein, Celeste is experiencing CPD problems. Gail, at your place, there's also CPD problems because if you don't attend it, then it creates a problem. Who's paying for it? Do you have time to go and attend courses? Even Paul, where you are overseas, I think before you went overseas, you had to complete certain English exams and stuff. You had to look at your own professional development to be where you are. Even Yolanda, when you went overseas, I know in the one WhatsApp you sent me that there was no curriculum, so you had to develop everything yourself. And then that you had to develop yourself. And Niku, you have so many experiences where you work, and even in the industry where you work with the food, there's continuous CPD needed. So instead of just focusing on the rural areas, why don't we see CPD and then see all the different ecosystems and then see how we can create a learning. What's that word I'm looking for? My brain doesn't work now. How the ADDIE model can be adapted in these different environments.
But then you're going to land up doing too many projects.
It's too big. It's
yeah,
too big.
And the other thing, you are missing the brief. The brief says you need to set it in a learning ecosystem.
Yeah, we need to put it
the learning ecosystems. And your defense, you know, how you say the CPD in every area, that's exactly what I spoke about, that it's a common problem. We agree upon that. And it's the wicked problem of continuing professional development that I anyway agreed with, that it is a wicked problem. Not the setting as such, because for me, the setting that your school has is not the challenge that's faced by the majority in South Africa. I'm sorry. It is the top level that faces that. Your school is the top. Somebody that is in a farm school, basically, like I would have called it in the Western Cape, okay, for them CPD is a far greater challenge. Imagine that. I mean, they don't have the equipment. But if we want to push towards the fourth industrial revolution, they're going to face far more challenges to be able to keep up with that.
So, Celeste?
Yeah.
Celeste,
this is hard.
Your school, what kind of, I mean, is your school rural? Do we have a rural context in our group? Can we not just use someone's school that's already in our group?
My school is not rural, but we are.
It's a mine school.
It's going to be difficult to use my school because my school is average and most of the children can pay school fees. And technology-wise, we have only started with our laptops first for our teachers, and then we installed the projectors in our classrooms. So we are there now. While Elaine's school is already on the whiteboards and the video cameras on the projectors, so they are a step higher than we are. But then we have...
But that's the point.
Yes, but we have schools here near us, where we live, that don't even have enough classrooms for the children. No textbooks, nothing. So.
But that's changing the wicked problem.
But that,
why is it changing the wicked problem? It's still continuing professional development.
Yeah, but anyway, but we can't use my school.
Define CPD, because my definition of CPD is that you are a professional, meaning you are a qualified teacher and you are developing yourself continuously.
Correct.
If you're in a rural school, you may not be a qualified teacher, nor may you care to develop yourself because you're not going to earn more money.
Yeah. And I want to add, I went to a lot of cluster meetings and some of these schools in Soweto and stuff, the department, they go out of their way to support these schools. They have top of the range interactive whiteboards. At Laerskool Helderkruin, we only have 2 interactive projectors. no interactive boards and stuff. We have our own personal computers and the projectors that's installed. But that's besides the point. The Department of Education, they go out of their way to support schools in rural areas, but those teachers, they just don't use it.
But that's the challenge, guys. That's the challenge. It doesn't help you go for an easy setting or an easy solution. Because if you've got internet, or if it's normal that some people already have computers, it's easy to do.
The thing is, before I came to Taiwan, I worked in a school in the West Coast in Aurora. And coming from the city, I had the experience of working with interactive whiteboards, projectors, had a laptop, all the perks. As I arrived at the school, you can see that it's a nice building. You walk in, nice staff. But as soon as I started working and teaching there, I noticed that the teachers kind of stagnate. They've got a computer lab under dust. None of them know how to operate the computers, nothing at all. I took my own projector, my own laptop, and I started using that in the classroom. I spoke to the principal and asked him, but can we use the lab and stuff? And his excuse to me was that I can use it, but I need to get programs to update and things like that, because none of them know how to do it. But in the West Coast district, you can actually request the I think it's like a district, the supervisor. You can request to them what type of development do you want. And the thing is, they have access, they have funds to it, but nobody is willing to do it. As I got the feeling when people start working in that kind of vicinity in rural areas, they get there and it's a job just to sit in till the day you retire. And no development, nothing at all.
That as a context.
That's why when my hand went up, but the thing is just remember that's fine, and I'm happy with that, because it's a real one. However, we are allowed to create an environment. That's the conversation I had with Duan last night. Because of our unique situation, we can create an environment as long as we can specify what all the different facts are in the environment. But if Paul's experienced all of these things, that makes good sense, then he can give us a lot of detail. Because, Elaine, I had you in mind, the comment you sent me yesterday about gamification. Okay, when I started looking at the problems coming in, and I looked at yours and I was thinking, and then when I saw Paul's comment was similar to mine on the setting, and obviously was waiting for your voting, and I was thinking, wow, this could be great, because what does 99% of everybody freaking have, even in the rural areas, is a mobile phone, similar to what Celeste said. And if you take a farm school, they are overcrowded like you cannot believe in classes, right? So when Celeste said something about the mobile phone, I immediately was thinking, okay, you go and you get a sponsorship. This is, could be part of the solution. You get a sponsorship, you get them to give you 6 phones. People like to play a game because, Elaine, you want to do this gamification thing. And our module can actually be like a game they play, but through the game, they learn, they develop, it counts for points, or as they do levels, Duan likes badges, things like that, where you what do they say, level up and stuff like that. So it can be fun. It doesn't need to be text that they have to learn. It could actually be through a game they play or something. They actually learn specific things. I don't know. That's what was my train of thought, because it's not something, if they're in that setting, they're not necessarily, like Paul said now, there was a computer lab there, but nobody was using it. Because if they don't have those skills, they're not going to do it. My mother is nearly 80. She hates a bloody computer, but she can use her touchscreen phone like nobody's business. Okay? It's because the touchscreen is very easy to use, especially for older people, for rheumatoid arthritis, it's easy. And the thing is people can interact with it easier than switching on a computer. It's not as scary. They have to get past the beginning stage of it. And that's when I was thinking, Elaine, you know, with your gamification, I think we can work some magic on finding a learning module we can build and can be exciting with lots of glitter, Celeste, you know, very interesting that we can do it.
Keen for gamification.
And it could be quite a good solution that people could actually use one day, obviously modify and adapt it, but I could see it being used. If you think people stuck far away, you know, they might not have access to a library that's got computers or an internet cafe, but they've got a phone with, you know, internet on it, and you can reach them. It can be like a pop-up at certain time of the day. Okay, this is your training module. And you play a little game and it teaches you a skill. And then, okay, tomorrow it will notify you again, it pops up. I've got a mind, what do you call it? Like a mind training app or something, where you go in and it works on all your skills, your mathematical, language, coordination, and all that stuff. So you get a reminder every day, and the level increases as it challenges you. And don't look so disappointed, Elaine. Or
I'm focusing. I'm thinking.
Yeah, I was going to say mistroostig. That's the word I was looking for. Because I know you've got strong on the gamification, and obviously Gail obviously is keen on it. I hear now as well. And I just thought, with your mind, you can run with it. There's so much we can do. So if somebody is, for example, 50 plus, I'm just saying, and they've never touched a computer, and then they are far-flung Aurora, or it is Atlantis is not that far from Cape Town, but anyway, Klaver, Koekenaap, Garries, all those weird little godforsaken places, they don't get that exposure, but you could see somebody sitting, waiting for their taxi ride or whatever to go home, quickly playing a game or something, I don't know. And getting them things through a WhatsApp, like that type of communicator where you give them an update, a boost every day, it's linked, something like that. Anyway.
Celeste.
We have a computer class for the kids. So they can learn in 10 minutes how to bake a cake. And then they say, choose a lady. And then you choose a cartoon someone, and then she says, okay, this is my colors that I love. So first you have to use they give you options which one she likes, like the pan, is it a heart, is it a square, is it a circle, and then what do you need the next one, you need to put on the oven, and then you need the eggs, and then you need this, and then you stir it all together, and then you pour it into the pan, and then it goes into the oven, and then you have your cake. And then they give an example of how she likes her cake. And then they must copy, monkey see, monkey do. And and their minds blow away because that's what they like. We can use something like a brain training, or learn the facts, or how to look after a fish in the class, or how to create a classroom, not to be over-decorated, or how to handle an ADHD child, or doing something in handwriting. So there's a lot of room to go.
Yeah, because it's only got to be a single module.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be a whole course.
Yes. So
like
something simple.
In the module that you create, you can put in different, how can I say, like learning aspects. Like, for instance, you mentioned now the shapes, like triangle, things like that. So they learn shapes, they learn colors, they learn procedure, they learn steps.
Don't forget they are adults.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, not to be condescending, I hear you, Gail. But, you know, if we keep it basic and not childlike, but, you know, not overcomplicate what we actually want to do, that's doable, no?
The best example of gamification that I've come across, and I don't know how, okay, you're both Discovery Health?
I didn't know.
The app that they have? I want to see if it'll translate to the screen. Hold on. Can you see? Okay, it's thinking. So the outside ring is my exercise ring, and the inside ring is my good driving behavior.
What, the purple one?
Yeah.
Oh, I've heard of that.
And every time do something right, I get rewarded. So like my exercise goal is 900, and to get 900 you have to like go for 3 runs a week or something.
Okay.
And then when I get it right, I don't have one now, but I can play a game like this. So all the tiles are the other way around.
Okay.
And then when I get it right, I can click a tile, and then I see what's under the tile.
Brilliant.
And then, like now I have 170 coins and no diamonds. So if I go spend them, these are the things. These are the things that I can spend the money on. Like,
Okay.
That's nice.
so I can go get gift vouchers from Pick n Pay or Dis-Chem or Nando's or Kauai.
Wow.
100 rand, serious?
What if that just gave me an idea, the coupons and stuff. If the teachers complete certain courses on this, they get coupons to get airtime.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because if you say
Yo.
Vodacom sponsors the phone, Vodacom rewards them for studying. Corporate social
Nice.
responsibility. Vodacom should sponsor our module.
Nice.
Yeah.
So the more they study, the more data they have, the more they can study, the more data they get.
Love
Yes.
that.
Yeah.
Yes, not coupons. The more they study, the more data they get. Because they want them to pay for it.
Yeah.
Yolanda.
Fly, or you want to say something?
So if they don't have data, where can it fly? If they don't have data, they can't make data.
Exactly.
But
That's
Vodafone-
our problem.
But now they can.
But the suggestion is, okay, for example, okay, I know we said Bessie, say, Paul, it was you and Aurora. Say you had 6 teachers there and you got Vodafone to sponsor 6 phones. And they get given, I don't know, say, I don't know what South Africa does, say 1 GB a month or say half a GB a month. Okay.
Freebie bundle.
A freebie bundle or whatever. They get
Starter
given
pack.
that. All right. Starter pack. All right. They get given that. Vodacom gives it to them free every month. But they are joining. We went to them to say, join forces with us. We want to teach our rural teachers, get them upgraded. The way we reward them is the more they learn and progress, they get rewarded with more data.
Vodacom kan net 'n Wi-Fi spot vir hulle opsit en sê, we use you as advertisement for, please, for
But in the
this
school.
year, but
In the school.
In school, yeah.
And we will give some freebies to the children as well, so they can tell their parents where do they learn from.
But you also don't want to make it too easy for the teachers because then they're never going to bloody learn. You need to minimize
They need to
it.
work for it.
Yeah.
But
The whole idea is you want them
They have to work for it.
more data.
but
They have to
but
work for it, yeah.
but like Candy Crush. Do you know Candy Crush? You get levels.
So well.
But Nico, it's very nice. If you walk on the road and you get to a certain level, they give you some rewards, like 2 hours free time, and you get some candies and that. So maybe
And
we
that-
can do like Gail said, we can use the levels and say now you are like Yolanda used in the peer evaluation. You are average, or you are stepping, getting closer, and then someone like a cartoon comes up and say, well done, if you want to consider this, go a level up and do this, and then you can get the rewards. Yeah.
But let's find an application that can facilitate that, and then we can complicate it as long as we've got the basics in there. Then we can add more meat to it.
Yeah.
But it
Yeah.
should at least be basics. Are we in agreement about that?
Yes.
High five.
They work for it, they get data. There's different levels, but at the end you get like a little report and you can use it as a CV because you're qualifying yourself.
Definitely.
And you can even maybe get a certificate. Like I'm sure who's it, Stace? The teachers union or whatever, you can do like a
Yeah,
certificate.
it's nice. Yeah.
It must be linked to whatever department, Western Cape's educational department, that they accredit the training. So it's